What's going on, everybody? Swiggity here with Swooty Gaming, and we're gonna do our first ever Talisman opening videos. So I have 10 of these Wisp of Mystery Talismans. I believe each one should have 5 each. So altogether we should be looking at about 50 Talismans. So let's jump right into it. Let's see if the RNG gods have blessed us today. Okay, so we have a few reds, decent amount of reds, a couple pinks, boo, greens and light blues or cyans, and then some regular blues. We'll see. Okay, speed eating and flinch free. Level 2 speed eating and flinch free level 1. These talisman, these skills sucks. They're all, I believe both of those are level 1 decorations, so they can easily be slotted into any build. So this one goes into rebirth. What do we got here? Free meal and flinch free. I think these are also 1 slots. Oh, I could be wrong about speed eating. It might actually be a 2 slot, but anyway, both of these are pretty useless. Counter strike and leap of faith, no slots. Okay. Counter strikes. They changed the content of this. Temporarily increases attack power after being knocked back. The utility of this is a lot better than what I assumed it was previously when it said you would be thrown off, and that at that point is when you get temporary increase attack. This is actually decent, but level 2 counter strike, leap of faith 1, they're decent combination, but no slots make it hard to slot in into my builds. We got guard and defense boost. This would be good for a defensive or a lance build, but I mean, again, we're dealing with 0 slots here, so kind of hard to fit into any of my builds. Let's see. Hope this next one's a good one. Ice resistance and blast resistance. Well, it's got a 3 slot, so I mean, I suppose this might have some type of use if I was doing a ice resistance or a blast resistance build. But I mean, these are, if I'm not mistaken, level 1 skills, the ice resistance and the blast resistance. So the only thing this charm has going for it is that it has a level 3 slot. That's about it. Alright, what do we got next? Thunder attack level 2 and critical element level 1. No slots! Well, that's RNG for us. Blast attack level 1, no slots. Man, skip. Offensive guard level 1 with 1 level 1 slot. Man. The RNG gods are not on my side today. What do we got? Sleep resistance and counter strike level 2. Isn't that the same thing I had here? Oh no. I have counter strike level 2 and leap of faith. Sleep resistance. It's a level 3 talisman anyway, so this will go straight into rebirth. Divine blessing. Poison attack level 1. Nah. Okay, rapid fire up and horn maestro. Okay, these two do not go together very well at all because they're 2 different weapons. So into rebirth it goes. Botanist and quick sheath. You know, botanist, I've actually been using it quite a bit in my Gaijin Hunter money runs. I've been using botanist and geologist just like he recommends, and honestly, I haven't gotten to the level where I'm pretty fast at it, but this would not be the talisman I would use to get botanist. I have that level 1 decorations. Defense boost and free meal. Honestly, I've been using free meal a lot lately. It's a level 1 decoration that I can slot into pretty much any of my builds that has open slots. I take damage a lot, and I always find myself eating, so the percentage that it procs, like 45% of the time for level 3, that's almost half of the times I use potions or rations or anything like that. I basically get it for free. So out of a hunt, maybe 10 mega potions, I get 5 of those for free. So I actually get 15 mega potions throughout the course of a hunt. That includes life powder and dust of life, if I'm not mistaken. So it comes in very much handy for me, but not in a talisman with 2 level 1 slots and 1 free meal. Nah, it's like that's straight into Wisp of rebirth to me. Windproof and water attack. I don't even know what windproof does. Grants protection against wind pressure. Is that for like the serpent boss? The wind pressure? I don't know. It might actually be Kushalas. Kushala de Aura's tornadoes. Alright, dragon resistance. Hunger resistance. 2 more resistances. I also have hunger resistance on some of my sets. Those are slotted in with my leftover slots. And it's really helpful to reduce the stamina cap from decreasing. I find I rarely ever need to use rations with this. But also, I use mega dashes or dash juices, and the dash juices help my stamina from decreasing anyway, and it also increases some stamina too. So it just depends on individual playstyle if it's gonna fit into your playstyle or not. But hunger resistance can easily be overcome by dash juices. Free meal in heroics with 0 slots. Next, windproof and slugger. Okay, cool. Slugger level 1. I don't see slugger very often in talismans, and it's hard to prioritize that in your armors. So I guess it could kind of come in handy for skill on a talisman. But man, this is. I honestly don't ever see myself using windproof. Like, windproof is just like, to me, my personal playstyle is a waste of a slot or skill for me. Evade extender and stamina surge. Okay, I love evade extender. Evade extender. Evade extender is so amazing. Like, when I'm playing lance or gun lance, I almost find it's necessary. Like, I have to have it as part of my build. If I don't, the evade distance is so small, man. It's like very hard to even continue using those weapons without it. And stamina surge increases stamina recovery speed. This is amazing, especially for those weapons that have shields, because you know when you get hit, you tank a hit, you lose some stamina. So it comes in very much handy. Unfortunately, it's a level 1 slot talisman, and I believe these can be easily slotted in with most builds if I really want to prioritize it. If anything, I would choose evade extender level 2, and if it had a level 2 slot, it'd be way better. But yeah, since it only has a level 1 slot, it's pretty useless to me. Blight resistance and razor sharp. I love razor sharp. I genuinely love razor sharp because it can prevent you from losing sharpness. So if you deal 100 hits, it's like the equivalent of dealing maybe 50 hits. That's the rate at which your sharpness reduces. So for some of my weapons, has like decent raw, decent elemental, but I guess the sharpness is still at green. Razor sharp, or even the other sharp skill, I forgot what it's called at the top of my head. It gives you, it's called bludgeoner. That's what it is. If you have bludgeoner on your set and you have green sharpness or lower, it gives you more attack. So it's almost, I guess, the equivalent of having blue sharpness. I'm not sure about the exact math, but by being in green, that 10% increase of attack boost is almost like offsetting it for the fact that it's not a blue sharpness. No slots, garbage. Recoil down, cool. I love this for my heavy bowgun. Recoil down, because heavy bowgun, I notice a lot of people don't even play heavy bowgun, but the recoil on some of the heavy bowguns that I have, it's pretty bad. Like, I would take a shot and then it would knock me like 2 steps back or something, or even more. Sometimes it knocks me back really high, really hard. So I can't remember if recoil down was a level 1 or a level 2 decoration. It's awesome that it's 2 points right here. I might actually end up using this because recoil down, I don't know where else I can get this. It's a level 2 skill on the decoration, so the fact that it only has a level 1 slot, it's kind of offset by the fact that recoil down is level 2. Next, steadiness and recoil down. This is actually decent. This would be actually decent for some bowgun builds, even though it's only a level 4 or a rarity 4 talisman with 2 level 1 skills. This could actually be decent because it combines 2 skills that's pretty helpful. And plus steadiness is a 1 out of 2 skill, so this is like half of that skill already there. And the deviation is level 1, so recoil -1 on a bowgun that might have 1 or small recoil, this could negate that altogether. That's not bad actually. Fire attack and blast resistance. 2 level 1 slots. This is like mediocre at best. This would go straight into rebirth. Alright. Let's see what the RNG gods have for this red one. Counter-Strike level 2, recoil down level 1, a level 2 slot, and a level 1 slot. Okay. I wonder if the knocked back effect activates when you have recoil. Because that's technically getting knocked back, right? You know, I should test that actually. That'd be really interesting to test. The Counter-Strike activating from a recoil of a heavy bowgun. Or even a light bowgun. I don't know how that recoil is. But then again, this recoil down would maybe negate that recoil in the first place, the getting knocked back in the first place. So I don't know, but not too bad. It's got a level 2 slot and a level 1 slot, so it could be pretty useful at certain times. Attack plus 15 after activation, so that's actually pretty good. Attack plus 15 in this particular application. I might actually find some use for it. Hunger Resistance level 2 and Wirebug Whisperer level 2. I honestly love Wirebug Whisperer. I use my Wirebug a lot because I don't use a dog, I use a cat. And I'm always zipping and zooming, wirebugging around the map. So with this alone, it not only extends the duration you could keep a Wirebug by 30%, that third Wirebug. So I don't know how long it actually lets you keep that Wirebug, but it extends it by 30%. So for instance, if it was like a 60 seconds, 30% of that, what is that, like 15 seconds, 10 seconds? I can't do math at the top of my head, but that's 30% is a significant improvement of time. That's a lot more movement that you can make across a map with a third Wirebug if you have this. But it also increases the wirefall recovery rate. This is absolutely phenomenal because that's a really big struggle. Like when you are fighting against a monster that keeps constantly hitting you and you use wirefall recovery, I find myself in times where I'm like trying to do the wirefall recovery, but I'm all out of wirebugs and I'm waiting for that to recover. So I'm just like spamming the button to be like, recover, recover, give me that wirebug back, give me that wirebug back. So there are times when I've even carded because of that. So this is really helpful. But a level 3 would increase passive recovery rate while on the ground. So this would be awesome as well. Like while you're actually in the middle of a fight, the recovery rate will be increasing. And you know, hunger resistance, I kind of mentioned it earlier. It's a bonus. It's great. I could easily slot it into one of my skills. Honestly, I could probably slot in the Wirebug Whisperer too. So, but it has a level 2 slot and a level 1 slot. So this could be kind of useful because these skills are level 2. So that's like a lot of decorations that I don't need to put on there. And especially Wirebug Whisperer has so much utility for my particular playstyle. Bludgeoner and Counter-Strike. Decent skills, not my preference in combination, and no slots, so pass. Part Breaker and Maximum Might. I think Part Breaker is a level 2 skill, and this is very helpful when you are trying to get some part breaks, obviously, like especially using a blunt weapon, or sometimes I even get that on a Charge Blade. Charge Blade just like whacking around a monster, whacking around their parts, and sometimes get the claw, get the back, and it's really helpful when I'm trying to farm. Like I was trying to farm Gauss Harag Biles. That you only get that from breaking the back, and even then that's like a very small percentage. So having this Part Breaker, I had actually level 2 in my build when I was doing the Gauss Harag Bile farm, and I think it took me like 3 or 4 tries, 3 or 4 Gauss Harags before I finally got it. So using the Charge Blade, actually one of the moves lets you do a very seamless, like it's actually a unsheathed weapon. So while you're unsheathed, you run towards it and you press R, and it puts you into axe mode, and the axe goes straight into the back from above. So it's a very nice precision hit, and if you time it right, depending on which monster you're trying to get, it goes straight into the ground. So a lot of the times if you're trying to get a Mizutsune Claw or something, you go straight up to Mizutsune and do that axe mode unsheathed weapon move, and it goes straight into the claw or whatever, wherever you're precisely trying to aim. So that's just a tip if you're trying to break some parts and get some extra drops. Oh yeah, maximum might. Increases affinity of stamina is kept full for a period of time. Cool, this could be useful for like an affinity build that's maybe not necessarily 100%. Even like something that's at 60% or even 40 to 50%. That extra 10% affinity just from level 1 goes a long way. And if you have level 3, increases affinity by 30%, which to me, I'm thinking after like 50 to 60%, I don't know if affinity is worth prioritizing all that much, because at that point every single skill is being prioritized into affinity and you're not getting any other utility, or you're not getting any other type of armor skill. So I mean, it can be useful at times. If this was a level 3, I mean, by all means that would be a perfect use of maximum might, but I wouldn't prioritize level 3 maximum might on any build. Even though, like, honestly, if stamina is kept full for a period of time, there's a lot of times when I just have full stamina, so this could be pretty useful in certain ways. But this talisman has no slots, so it doesn't really have much use to me, except maybe if I want to do easy part breaker, because those, I'm pretty sure, are level 2 decorations, and those level 2 decorations, I think I only have 2 part breaker decorations, so this would allow me to easily run a part breaker build. Yeah, if I wanted a 30% part break, that would make it a lot easier. I have that decoration, so I can slot it in for one of those. Anyway, let's see what we got. Wide range. I've always wanted to play a wide range build. This has 5 levels of wide range. If you use items with wide range level 5, you can heal nearby enemies, nearby allies. You can give them like armor skins and demon drugs and all those type of boosts as well. So when I was playing in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, I played with the wide range build, and I loved it because I also used the hunting horn. So already the hunting horn has like a support type buffs and stuff. So for my particular playstyle, I love playing support class. So obviously the hunting horn by itself is not really support. It's just has buffs, which helps for support. But the fact that I used wide range helped me buff the team even more. So I love that playstyle. I haven't really played around with it in Monster Hunter Rise yet, but this is only wide range level 1, so this talisman is not really worth it at all. Stamina surge level 1 as well. These are like, it's not a great talisman. I don't see myself using this at all, so it will go into rebirth for sure. Level 2 talisman, level 2 slot, with thunder attack 1 and divine blessing number 2. You know, has a predetermined chance of reducing the damage you take. I wonder what this predetermined chance is. From what I understand, it's kind of similar to Moxie. At least that's how it was in the previous game, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, where it would have a chance of stopping you from taking a lethal damage. So if a hit would have one-shotted you, Divine Blessing may or may not have procced, leaving you at 1 HP. So instead of dying or carding, you get that 1 HP, you can run around and heal yourself back up to normal. But I don't know how it works in this game. Like, what is that predetermined chance of reducing the damage? But if it's at level 3, it reduces it by 50%. Even at level 2, it reduces that damage by 30%. Depending on what that percentage of proccing is, that's actually pretty good. Reducing the damage you take by 30%. So I could see myself using this if I was running for, if I was a really squishy character. So I don't exactly know which build would be pretty squishy from the top of my head. Maybe if I was going like pure DPS and I wanted to just have that chance of staying alive or something. I don't have that build just yet, but this could come in handy. Quick Sheath and Ice Attack, level 2 slot and a level 1 slot. I actually do see the benefit of using Quick Sheath, especially for a weapon like the Lance. Man, the Lance takes so long to put away. Lance, Gun Lance, and even the Charge Blade to a degree takes a long time to put away. So this is helpful to a degree, but being a level 1 skill here and a level 1 Ice Attack, it could come in handy, the Ice Attack +2, but man, this is like so low. it's really so low. I think anytime I'd want to use a elemental attack skill, it would have to be a level 4 or above to get that percentage. And even then, 10% off of 20 elemental damage is 2 damage. So that's really like level 4 skill would be the same as a level 1 skill, except that level 4 gives you a bonus +4. So a 20 would go from 20 to 26, which is 6 damage. To me, that's like very, very, very low. It's hard for me to rationalize occupying 4 skill slots or even 5 skill slots just for elemental damage when I could probably even channel that into raw damage or even affinity, and from a damage per second perspective, do enough hits in a predetermined period of time, maybe 10 seconds, you're going to get more benefit from affinity or even attack boost than from elemental attacks. So to me, I don't see the value in it. I could be wrong. In fact, I probably am, because there are people who are a lot better than me who do use those. So there's probably something I'm missing here. I'd keep researching and keep watching videos and kind of understand different people's play styles to understand how the elemental attack skills come into play. Maybe the level 5 is 20%. So that's with level 5 it would be ice attack. If I had a 20 ice damage weapon, then that would put me at maybe 28. So it's 20 plus 4 plus another 4. That's 28 damage. Anyway, I don't see myself using this very much, but the 2 slot could be a little helpful. Tremor resistance level 2 and resuscitate. Resuscitate would go really well with the Hellfire Blight or the Bubbly Dance. So this would be kind of helpful because that increases your attack power. But this one is only level 1, so that means I would have to slot in the other 2 skill levels for this talisman. It does have a level 3 slot, so that's kind of helpful. And tremor resistance helps a lot with monsters who are like lands near you or like is constantly going up and down and shakes the ground. Off the top of my head, I can't remember which monster does that a lot in this game. But in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, man, there were some monsters that would constantly be shaking the ground near you, and it would just like knock you out of your mid combo. So from the previous game, this would be really, really helpful utility wise. From this game, I can't really remember which instances, but I do know there are a few instances. But the resuscitate being only level 1, which is attack +5 when you have an abnormal status, is really not much. I wouldn't use this at level 1. It's kind of pointless, because for a level 1 skill, you can easily get attack more. Like the elemental attack would give you the ice attack that we were just looking at. This one skill alone would give you probably a little bit more utility, because the amount of times when you're actually suffering from an abnormal status is rare. So for the amount of time that you spend in the middle of a game, and even like I have a cat that gives me Wisp, what is it called? Vase of Vitality. So this would never proc. I would never be able to use this successfully because the Vase of Vitality is so awesome. I'd run into it whenever I have an abnormal status. This would only stack if it was also coupled with the Hellfire Cloak or the Bubbly Dance. So decent talisman for the 3 slot. Very niche way that I can use it, so I'm probably not going to end up using it. It's because both of those armor skills aren't useful for me in the capacity that I need them to be. Alright, reload speed and part breaker. So reload speed is pretty good because I love playing the bowgun, and the reload speed sometimes can be kind of tedious. It just like takes forever to reload. I mean, it doesn't take forever, it's actually pretty fast, but making it even faster is really helpful. So the thing is, I honestly don't know if bowguns even break parts in the first place, because I mostly am used to breaking parts by using weapons, melee weapons, so I don't know if it actually works. It probably does. I'm sure every weapon can actually break parts. It has a level 2 slot, so it does have a little bit of utility, so we might be able to use this actually, but we'll have to see. Alright, 2 level 1 slots, poison resistance and rapid morph. I actually like rapid morph. Rapid morph, however, is very niche. and it's only usable for 2 weapons. But Charge Blade is one of the weapons I've used quite a bit, and I love using Charge Blade. So I actually really like Rapid Morph. The thing is, I would definitely go for Rapid Morph at least level 2, because Rapid Morph level 2 gives you 20% and 10% morph attack damage, which really can come in handy, especially for the Charge Blade. I'm always switching between the two, because both of them have such utility. Being in Sword and Shield mode, I get to block and parry attacks, and then I can immediately go into getting more hits in. And then once the monster is down or I have a good opening, I go into X mode and I just go at it, go ham at it. So that morph speed gives me a very quick window to be able to get into the next state and start going ham on that monster. The poison resistance is so niche, like it would only come in handy when you're dealing against poison monsters, like for instance Chameleos or even Rathian, who loves poisoning. She always going into the air, doing a tail smack, tail whip, and is always getting you poisoned. But again, I use a cat that has Vase of Vitality, and I also carry herbal powders around with me too, so I don't see myself running around taking poison damage for longer than 2 seconds, so I don't think a skill of poison resistance is even worth prioritizing. Probably gonna go into Rebirth. Resuscitate level 2. Alright. Now we're talking. This is a Resuscitate level 2. This would actually make me reconsider having a cat that has Vase of Vitality. I would consider using a different cat altogether if I was able to get Bubbly Dance through one of my armor skills. It'd be kind of helpful. And earplugs. I actually really see the utility of earplugs. I do notice that, and I've seen other people say this as well, earplugs is kind of not so great on weapons like Lance, because in Lance you're using roars and all other attacks to kind of set up your counters. So like I've heard that with longsword too, like if you're trying to set up a counter, earplugs actually will stop you from being able to pull off that counter. But there are times when I would see myself having very much utility out of earplugs. Probably not level 1 earplugs, maybe level 2 or level 3 even. Actually, no, even level 2 is not very great for me. Level 3 or more is where I would start prioritizing. At that point, you can really start going ham on the monster when they're in the middle of a roar animation. So instead of really using it as an opportunity to counter, I would just like look at that opening and just smack its head. So at that point, that's where the earplugs come in handy for me. Level 1 Talisman. It could come in handy, but I don't know if I see myself using this just because it's a level 1 slot. But the 2 Resuscitate is helpful. Dragon Resistance level 1 and Speed Sharpening level 2. Cool. Speed Sharpening is pretty helpful in my opinion. I think I mentioned it already. No, I haven't talked about it yet. The Speed Sharpening, 2 cycles from the sharpening process, makes sharpening very fast. So there are times when I have a weapon and its sharpness level is like 1 sliver of blue, and that sliver of blue is gone in like, I don't know if I'm using dual blades or something. That thing is gone so quick because of how fast the weapons hit. It's just constantly hitting, so the sharpness goes down really fast. So having 2 cycles removed from the sharpening is pretty strong actually. And if you just slot in 1 more, you get 3 cycles from the sharpening process. But you know what, you could also eat for the polisher, and that polisher I believe removes 1 cycle as well. So having a level 2 speed sharpening and combining that with the food skill polisher could make it so that you only have one cycle sharpening. It's really quick, honestly. It's really fast. I played speed sharpening in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, and the rate at which I could sharpen weapons was so awesome. Like I could be in the middle of a fight, instantly go down to sharpen for like fraction of a second, and then I'll be back into the fight. So the Dragon Resistance level 2 is plus 12 Dragon Resistance, and at level 3 it's defense plus 10 as well. So this can come in handy for the monsters that do a lot of dragon damage. This is a pretty niche, but the amount of resistance that it gives you is actually pretty decent. And then level 3 gives you plus 10 regular defense too. So this is actually pretty decent talisman. It's 2 level 1 slots. So this could actually come in really handy. Those 2 level 1 slots can be used for pretty much like, you know, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can kind of slot in. If I'm not mistaken, the resistances are level 1 slots as well, level 1 decorations. So you can have level 3 dragon resistance right here. So get those 10 points of defense and those 20 dragon resistance points, and also get 2 speed sharpenings. So not a bad talisman, even though it's only level 1 slots. All right. Ooh. Oh, this is actually pretty good. Dude, this is actually really good. Slugger level 2 and earplugs level 1 with level 2 slots and 2 level 1 slots. This has a lot of utility. I could see myself using this maybe on a hammer or even a charge blade or a lance. Man, there's a lot of weapons that I play that have the KO damage, even sword and shield. So that level 2 slugger will come in really much a lot of handy. And this level 1 earplugs, I can just prioritize maybe 1 or 2 slots in my entire armor set to have 2 more slots of 2 more points of earplugs. And man, combined with the slugger, I could go ham on those heads. Man, these monsters don't stand a chance. Plus these extra weapon slots, I mean these decoration slots, is gonna come very much handy. This is probably one of the best decorations, one of the best talismans I've pulled so far, in my opinion anyway. I mean, obviously other people are probably gonna have better talismans for their builds, so this one is really helpful for the way that I play. Punishing Draw level 2 and Ice Attack level 1. Punishing Draw is a pretty decent skill, especially with weapons that sheath a lot. And for me, the dual blades sheath so much. I sheath my weapons so often with dual blades. So if I were to go into draw animation, even the bows and bow guns, because anytime you use a weapon, I mean anytime you use a potion, you have to put away your weapon. So immediately after that, you can go immediately into a draw attack. And that draw attack, if you aim it at the head, if it's a bow gun or a bow, then you can aim it straight for the head and get that extra stun damage for the head. So it has a chance to actually KO the monster. So even though you probably have a teammate at any given time that's prioritizing the head doing stun damage, that extra small amount of stun will help the team get maybe a second or a third KO in a single hunt. If you got a hammer on your team, you're probably going to get three knockouts or stuns in a single game, if not more. Hunting horn, you're probably going to get between 2 and 3 if they're prioritizing the head. If you got any other weapons that just do a little bit of KO damage or stun damage, you're going to get maybe 2, but having a little bit more help from the team with using stun damage, then you might actually get 3, possibly even 4 for the fight. Even the 4 is like a lot. I don't think I've ever seen a team get 4 stuns, or not stuns, knockouts. So, but anyway, this does help tremendously, especially because of how often that I take damage and how often I find myself sheathing my weapon and eating to regain my health, then immediately going into a draw attack. Man, and this is level 2, so you get +5 attack just from this alone. Well, the draw attacks does. So a third point in punishing draw would make this pretty awesome, and it's 2 level 1 slots too. So those 2 level 1 slots can go to pretty much a lot of different things. And here we have Ice Attack again. You guys know what my thoughts on Ice Attack. So it's a bonus for sure if I was using an ice weapon. I do have a lot of ice weapons actually. I love the Gauss Harag weapons because they're ice element, and I believe I have a Barioth bow as well. So I have the Gauss Harag charge blade, and the Gauss Harag and the Barioth bow. Man, there's like tongue twisters. Sorry. So these ice attacks is like a icing on the cake. In these instances, I find myself thinking that the ice attack is like a nice little bonus, but to me, I wouldn't really go out of my way to prioritize all of my slots with the ice attack. But you know, over time, like there are situations where it could come in handy just as an icing on the cake. Blast attack +1 and bubbly dance 1. I mean not +1, it's level 1. Increases the rate of blast buildup. Blast buildup has a maximum limit. And Bubbly Dance. So at level 1, this is really only useful against Mizutsune, and even level 2 to a degree is only worth it when you're fighting against Mizutsune. Level 3 is where we have the Bubble Dance. It gives you the blight, and then when combined with what's it called? That one skill, I forgot what it was called. It's up here somewhere. Resuscitate. When combined with Resuscitate, then you give an actual bonus for having that Bubble Blight as well. So combined with those two, it would be helpful. This is a very niche talisman with a level 1 slot that I don't see myself using ever. So like I don't even have a blast weapon, but if I did, I would try to get blast attack level 3, which improves blast build up by 20%, which is significant. That's actually really strong. So if it gets faster by 20% and it has a 5+ bonus, it could probably give you like 2 to 3 blasts per hunt. If that, I don't know. I've never really played with a status weapon like blast. I played with paralysis, and paralysis is really fun. It procs in like the first 1 minute of a fight, so the whole team can get like a whole bunch of hits in with the paralysis. So the blast attack, I guess the blast attack doesn't really have that much utility, because from a damage per second point of view, each time you proc a paralysis, if the team is on their game, then you can get in a lot more damage than by proccing a blast on the enemy. But I could be wrong. I actually haven't played a blast weapon before, so there's a lot that I don't know about it, and I would probably have a better understanding of what the skill even does, and probably actually have a point even talking about it after I've had experience with it. So I should stop saying that I don't know what the I should stop talking about it, since I don't know what the utility is truly. Alright, Hunger Resistance level 2 and Thunder Attack level 1 with 2 level 1 slots. The Hunger Resistance, yeah, I talked about it a little bit earlier. It's kind of helpful. This halves, literally, actually, what is it? I think it halves the time that the stamina goes down through hunger. Thunder Attack level 1. That could be helpful if you have a thunder build, yeah. But this same thing that I was saying earlier about ice, like these two together probably don't really go together. And the 2 level 1 slots, like I wouldn't prioritize. I wouldn't use this talisman, even though it's a level 2 hunger resistance and a level 1 thunder attack. The opportunity cost for using this is that I don't get to use another talisman, which could have some skills that's very hard to slot in. But even though these things are 3 decorations worth, like I would not go out of my way to prioritize these skills. It's just icing on this cake skills, so I wouldn't pick this talisman because it's just icing on the cake skills. Fire resistance and fortify. Oh, fortify, man. This would be great if I cart a lot, which I don't all the time. I mean, I am the triple cart king, but I actually haven't triple carted as much in this game as I have in Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. So I think someone else should take the triple cart king title for this game. But yeah, this would be helpful if somebody has insurance and they cart often and they're really squishy. Then increases attack by 10% and defense by 15% with each use. So if we have 3 carts and we're working on our 4th life, then whoever triple carts has 45% extra defense. Actually, it doesn't stack that way. It's 15% from the current state. So I guess mathematically speaking, it's a lot more defense and a lot more attack. But hopefully somebody isn't carting that much, because at that point, like, they should probably be focusing on defense as well. So this would be really helpful. Oh, look, it even only lets you go twice. It says can be activated twice. So yeah, it's very niche. I don't see myself using it. And fire resistance is not that great of a combo with the level 2 slot. Like I see myself having way better talismans to use with this than this. Counter-Strike level 2 and Horn Maestro level 1. Honestly, I misunderstood what Horn Maestro did in this game, because in the last game, Generations Ultimate, it extended the length of your songs, but in this game, it's so easy to just proc those songs. Like, it's so easy that I didn't see myself ever using Horn Maestro if it was the same, but I actually looked into what it was, and actually, it's actually pretty good because it increases overall performance speed, so, and shockwave damage. So I believe that ZR attack, I forgot what it's called, the one that activates this self-improvement, that has shockwave damage. So plus it's just level 1 is all you need for this. So if I was using a hunting horn and I get knocked back, it has no slots, so actually this would be useful if it had some slots, but it doesn't have any slots, so I don't see myself ever using it. Marathon Runner and level 3 slot. It slows down stamina depletion for actions which continuously drain stamina, such as dashing. I mean, I think this would be good for the bow. I'm not sure, but I know for sure it will be good for the dual blades. But it's only got one skill with level 1. Even though it has a level 3 slots, it's really hard to find a reason to pick this. There's a lot better talismans out there, and honestly, if I had a level 3 skill for a slot, for a talisman, if I had a level 3 slot on a talisman, the skill that it would come with would not be Marathon Runner. That's probably not something I would prioritize at all. Well, I guess Dual Blade would help, but I mean, honestly, we've seen in this talisman pool alone that there's been better talismans with skills. So, it's unfortunate, but this would go into Rebirth. Recovery speed and ice resistance in a level 1 slot. Yeah, I mean, I never see myself using recovery speed, honestly, because being able to heal automatically the recoverable damage is, like, pointless to me. Because if I stay having damage in the red, unless I have that one skill that gives me increased attack during those times, I don't see myself ever staying with damage in the red. Because if I start to take some damage, I try to heal as often as possible. I immediately try to jump into potions, because with my playstyle, I get so aggressive that if I don't stop and actually heal, I'll end up carding. So the recovery speed is helpful for a playstyle where it could empower me to be even more aggressive. I don't know. Now I'm starting to see the value in it after saying it out loud, that if I have a really aggressive playstyle, if it triples the speed at which you heal recoverable damage, that's not bad actually. Okay, I'm starting to have a change of heart, but ice resistance and a level 1 slot make it not really a good go for me, but at least now I have a changed mind on recovery speed. Maybe it would help for a very aggressive playstyle. So, we'll see. Next one. Red one. What we got? Oh, level 3 slot. 2 points fire resistance and 1 point dragon attack. Huh. This is so niche. This is very niche. If I have a specific monster that I want to make a build for, then I would use this, because it has a level 3 slot and a level 1 slot. The level 3 slot is why I would be using this to make a niche build, but that fire resistance level 2, which is 12 points to fire resistance, maybe for what's a monster that does a lot of fire attack, like Raknakaraki? It does a lot of fire attack, and what's his name? Rathalos. Good old Rathalos. Those are, and even Enjanath. Those monsters use a lot of fire, and the level 2 is fire resistance plus 12, and if I could get one more point, which this slot even has, it could completely give me 10 points more, plus 20 fire resistance, and then the dragon attack plus 2, so I think would probably have at least a level 3 in order for this to be viable. So actually, I don't know, like, I would have to use a lot of level 1 decoration slots just for dragon attack to get it to level 3 to be viable. So I don't know, unless just leave it at dragon attack level 1 and enjoy those plus 2 points, maybe on our dual blades the amount of hits that it does, that +2 will stack over time. So maybe could come in handy with that build. But again, this is a very niche build that it would be used for. Alright, one more red from this day's pull. Counter-Strike level 2 and Wide Range level 1, level 2 slot, and a level 1 slot. So this is decent. I'm kind of sad that this is the last red one that I got for the day. Now I have to go through a whole bunch more talismans to get more talismans. But I mean, this is alright. It's alright at best. I don't see myself really using this in a build, so this is probably going to go into Rebirth. Poison attack level 2 and affinity sliding level 1. Affinity sliding is actually pretty cool. I don't remember what affinity gives you, what percentage of affinity it gives you, but in the sandy plains there's so many places to slide that this can proc so often. So that if you have an affinity build at that. So, and then the poison build up, poison attack. Okay, for dual blades, poison dual blades, man, this would come handy because that +2 bonus and then the +10% poison build up, this would be really helpful. Possibly even for a bow as well, with the poison coating. Like poison coating, you only get what, like 15, 20 coats maximum. So that 10% extra poison buildup, like I've gone through I've gone through an entire stack of poison coatings and not procced a poison on the monster. So there are times when this would come in handy because that 10% will really help at least get that one poison from that stack of poison coating arrows. But other than that, it's like kind of niche. But I mean, it does have its uses, but it's a level 1 slot, so I don't see myself using this. Quick Sheet level 2 and Stamina Thief level 1. I love Stamina Thief too because level 1 alone has 20% exhaust power. That's incredible. That's like very, very, very good, especially for the charge blade that has the impact file. That constant, every single hit is doing impact damage to the monster, is dealing additional 20% exhaust power. So even with a hunting horn, the hunting horn does a lot more exhaust damage than the hammer. So the hunting horn's smacking on the back or even on the claws or something, or even on the tail, is just constantly getting that 20% extra exhaust power. So if you get to level 3, you're at 40% exhaust power, so you're almost cutting the second exhaust time in half. So if it takes 2 minutes to get to 1 exhaust, it's taking maybe 1 minute and 30 seconds or something like that to get to the first exhaust. So it can possibly get you an extra exhaust per hunt by having level 3. But only level 1 slot. So, and the Quick Sheath level 2, not bad. This would be really, really helpful, but in combination of the skills that it has, the Stamina Thief does have a lot going for it, but it's only got one level 1 slot, so it's kind of limited in its uses. But I mean, if it had another slot, this could be pretty useful, honestly. If it had a level 2 or a level 3 slot, then I see this utility being way higher. So it's unfortunate because this could be a good combination of skills, but the level 1 slot alone makes it so that I probably won't use this. But there are situations where I do see myself having these 2 skills come in handy. Just wish there was more slotage going on. Water Attack 2 and Slugger 1, no slots. Man, I love Slugger. I'll say it, and I'll say it again. Slugger is awesome, but no slots, and combined with Water Attack level 2, I don't see myself using this. Diversion and Recovery Speed. Diversion is really cool when you want the monster to constantly be attacking you and going for you. If you want the aggro on you, which means that the monster's head is always at you, then this is really helpful. Especially for something like the Lance. The Lance is like a tank, man. It's drawing that monster's attention, getting them to hit, and then going in for the counter. Man, so you're barely taking any damage, and then the monster's prioritizing you, so its head is always in your face, and you're, especially for somebody like Anjanath whose head is so high, the Lance, like a lot of the times the Lance can straight up just poke it from all the way in the ground. So this diversion is really helpful for the Lance. recovery speed plus level 1 with a level 1 slot. I think the diversion might actually be a level 1 decoration. I'm not sure. So this talisman isn't really useful. The skill is, if the recovery speed was level 2 or higher, it might be somewhat worth it, but it has only a level 1 slot, and I believe diversion is a level 1 decoration. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while since I actually don't know all the decorations and what level they are. I have to actually do some more research and kind of keep them in my mind, but yeah, I don't see myself using this very much. And flinch free and recovery speed, it's a level 1 slot, so the flinch free level 1 would be really helpful in multiplayer, and if I was playing the aggressive style, then the recovery speed level 2 couldn't come in handy too. But yeah, it's only got a level 1 slot, so don't find myself using this at all. And the final one is probably going to be garbage because it's pink, but let's see it anyway. Dragon attack 3 and poison resistance 2. Huh, it's actually not as trash as I thought. I mean, it's again, this is a talisman that's super niche. Like, the chance of actually having a situation where I need this is very particular for the monster. Like, if you have a dragon weapon and you're going against a poison monster, then, like, yeah, actually I take that back. The poison resistance is so useless to me. I don't see myself ever using this. I have herbal powders on me to heal the whole team, and remove poison for the whole team. Plus I got a cat that has base of vitality, so this is kind of useless to me. Plus no slots. Yeah, that's it. So alright guys, that is it. Those are all my talismans from this time. This is my first time doing this talisman video. If you guys found this entertaining, let me know, leave in the comments. So if you like it, don't like it, anything, give me some feedback. Thanks for watching, and